What up guys, More here, and this time we'll pick up where we left off last time at the project we just made. What we accomplished last time was to set up a game with a basic map and pretty much construct it in a way that it has a background, a working map, and locked edges. So, what we'll be doing this time we'll be trying to make a sort of a force field, a wall that you can't pass through and you get damaged by. This will be good since we'll get to take a look at a few new commands that we haven't touched so far. So, first of all, we open a new event, of course. Once we have that, right here, we'll assign its graphics. We'll use this little image that indicates the force field. Its size per frame is 16/128 and it has 4 frames. It'll be static, and yeah, that's okay for now. Let's see, start it up. And as you can see, it's loaded into the map in the size that we specified, but it's still not moving because we didn't animate it yet, and it's not really moving on its own. So to fix this, we'll take a new look at a new command, one that I've mentioned several times so far. That is the play animation command. This animation takes the number of frames that you specify and plays them as an animation that doesn't depend on the characters or the event's movement. So for this file, you can't really see it here, but we have 4 frames. Each one is 16 pixels over 128. It doesn't have any facing since it's just an object and you don't really need it anyway. So what we'll be doing, we'll go back here and set the animation to go from the first frame up 4 frames. The speed, we'll set it to 5, it should be okay. And set the repeat to 1, that's okay for now. And the target is this event, the current one that we're using. We can pause it for now. Okay, so we set the thing to automatic, so it starts acting up when we start the game, and every frame it will start a new animation once the last one ended. Putting it up. As you can see, the thing is now animated, but it doesn't do anything yet. Now we want it to hurt the player when he touches it. We can't do that with an automatic setting unless we use the collision check, but rather than that, we have a much more useful approach to this particular object. What we can do, we can take the play animation command and set the repeat number to -1. That'll mean that it'll keep looping over forever, but in that case we don't really need the automatic setting for it anymore. Once we do that, we can just set a flag up and go up to do any other task that this event might need to do. To do that, we first of all don't need to pause the event until it's done, since we want the event to keep running. We want it to do other operations at the same time. Now, over the other videos before, I have mentioned the extra stats that we can use for any other purpose. We'll be using them now to determine the display animation has already started, and we can go on to checking any other aspects of the event. Let's do this now. We'll create a new condition that operates if this event, its extra 1 stat, is the same as 1, which is the one we just set, the one defaulted by the program. Now we'll take the play animation and put it right into this command. Once the command has been activated, we want to change the stat, so we'll go to variables. Variables is an aspect we haven't touched yet, as far as I can remember. Variables let you create an event or operate on an existing one. If you don't have any events, you can just type a name, check this box, and if it doesn't exist by the time the command is passed through, it will be existed for you at runtime. That's very useful, but that's not what we'll be doing right now. So like you can see, you have the numerical, text, reach, and point variables that we covered in the database. But on top of that, you also have the stat one. What we'll be doing, we'll take this event's extra 1 stat and add 1 to it. Like you can see, you can do much more than that. You can do all the basic math operations as well as various trigonometric functions that you can use on it, as well as you can operate on it by different amounts, including random numbers. We also have the math formula command to ease any math operations that are too complex to use variables for, but we'll get to that at another time too. So we add 1 to the extra 1, and that means that it won't go through the loop anymore. It won't call the play animation command anymore, because once it reaches the condition next time, it won't match and it won't go in. This is another method for not doing the same thing twice in an automatic event, unlike the last event that we had that deleted itself once the command was done, because in this case we didn't need it anymore. But in this case, for the force field, we still need to use it later. Okay, so now we want that once we touch the event, we want the hero to take damage, but the event is still set to automatic setting as an activation method. What we want to do is change that. We have a command for that too. We go to the command activation method command under code and data tab. The activation method lets you choose the event that you want to operate on, again through index or variable that stores the index, and just change it to any other activation method that you might want. In this case, we want it to change to touch. So once we do that, that means that the event will run, play the animation, and become a touch event that won't operate this one anymore. So now we'll set the condition. Now, you know what, let's play the thing. Show. Actually, there's nothing really to show. All we did was in the background. The visual will be the same. As you can see, the thing still runs, and well, nothing other than that we can see. Okay, so going back into the event. Now we'll create a new condition right below this one that says that if this event's extra 1 set is the same as 2. That's pretty much using the same condition from before, but setting the same stat to 2, since we don't want it to activate when the event is first created, but rather just after the play animation is commenced. So inside this condition, what we want to do is damage the hero. For this, we have the damage calculator command right under the code and data tab In this command, you choose the attacking event and the defending event that will set to this event as attacking and the hero as defending. Once we do that and the command is reached, then this event's attack stat, the power stat over here, will be calculated against the hero's defense stat over here, and the result will be subtracted from the HP. So let's set the things a little. Let's put 2 defense, 5 HP should be okay, and 4 attack. That should be fine. That should take about 3 hits to take you down. Still, though, there won't be any visual effects at this point that we can see, and the game doesn't know even to end once the hero is under 0 HP so far. So what we'll do next is go to the database under the Global Events and Settings tab and create a new global event like we did last time. We'll create an hero death global event, go inside it and set it to automatic, since we want it to keep checking all the time. Inside it we'll put another condition, again on the stat, but this time we'll be checking if the hero's HP is lower than 1. If the HP is 0 or below, then we want to go to the commands, etc. tab and set the game to end at this point. Let's save the map and play. Now we still won't be able to see anything visual, but once we touch it, the game will end, since there's nothing that pushes you back. We'll cover this at a later time, but for now this will be it for today, and next time we'll be covering the more visual aspects of the same operation, pushing the hero back and whatnot. But until then, have a nice one, guys.